all of you in the comments are acting like you've never done anything wrong, like you've never lied, like you've never this. And Amber's actions were disgusting. Yes. And that doesn't make everyone then some type of Gandhis or monks. Like, it just was weird how people were acting all haughty. Like, she is such, I'm like, and you were just yelling at your wife about the fact that she didn't make you the right type of sandwich, my dude.
I watched a couple of your videos that you put out on the trial. And I actually, the one that you put out about Amber Heard specifically, where you were speaking about how she was wrong, but also deserves a place to heal, that actually flipped a switch inside my head where I'm like, yeah, I've been hating on Amber Heard a lot on the podcast and like in my own thoughts, you know, what is this doing to drag her even more? And so I wanted to ask you, now that we're about a month separated from the verdict, a few weeks, something like that, how have your thoughts evolved on this whirlwind of a trial? Because like, it was fucking crazy to see two people in Hollywood go at it in public in a televised trial. Like, how have your opinions kind of evolved with the distance that we now have from the verdict?
Yeah, I never thought I was going to make any type of video or commentary on the trial, but I started to get really interested when I was watching it, and I was interested like just how court works, and then with the experts coming on and just everything. But then I really was interested with Amber Heard. I did make a separate video talking about how her couching her claims against Johnny Depp in 2016, 2018, and now, you know, how that narrative of believe all women, you know, accidentally helped her. Because during that time when she said it, believe all women was very popular and no one really vetted her. They're like, oh, that happened? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it happened. Now, Johnny, you're trash. Let's move on. So I made a video about that. But then when I started seeing the comments as I was watching the trial and seeing the comments of people as if they were Johnny Depp, like going in on her, like in a way where I'm like, this is really like strange and weird that you guys are so, like, I understand like she's lying and she ruined, and it's fine. She should be challenged with the way people are going in and saying she's disgusting mother, narcissist. I'm like, when have all y'all like went to school to diagnose people? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But once I started, it was really social media and like seeing like all these clips like of making fun of her. When I won't lie, like some of them were funny, but then it just wasn't funny anymore. I'm like, I just started, a switch in me went on. I'm like, what if that was me or someone I knew? And every day they were waking up to this type of wrath every single day. Is this normal for one person to get every day? I'm like, I would not be surprised if she deleted herself from the world. Like, I would not even be surprised if that happened. And that video was kind of not hard, but I was like, how can I do this video without sounding like I'm taking up for her? I'm like, I'm not taking up for her and saying that she is right, but her humanity I'm taking up for. Because I understand, I've gotten backlash before, and I couldn't imagine it being on this scale. And also, there's two sides to every coin. Toxic relationships are very, very complicated and complex, and none of them no one's a whole saint in it, or a whole victim, or a whole villain. But with that video, I just was like, everything's being sensationalized. One, and more so people were being incentivized, I believe, to sensationalize the trial with these commentary YouTubers because they're making tons of money. I mean, there's millions of dollars being made just making comments and commentary on Amber Heard, but specifically being on Johnny Depp's side and dogging her as much as you could, and because people wanted that content. They wanted to see that. And I know a lot of people might have thought maybe looking at my videos, you're going to get that, but they didn't get that. Instead, they got something totally different. Because I'm like, I'm not for the clout thing. I'm not going to be like, oh, everyone's doing that, so I am. I actually stopped talking about the trial because I'm like, I really had a lot to say, but I'm like, I don't want to keep making video after video after video because who cares? But that one I wanted to do because I wanted people to check themselves. Because people love when other people are in misery, like online. Because when you're online, it's like this weird, like, a piece of you is gone. I feel like a piece of people are gone. I'm like, you guys would never say this to another human being's face to face. But online, it's just this safety in numbers to go at someone and to use them as like, to show how, you know, good and moral you are in comparison to this person. And I'm like,
100%.
it was annoying because it was just like, all of you in the comments are acting like you've never done anything wrong. Like you've never lied. Like you've never this. And Amber's actions were disgusting. Yes. But, whatever. That doesn't make everyone then some type of Gandhis or monks. Like, it just was weird how people were acting all haughty. Like, she is such, I'm like, and you were just yelling at your wife about the fact that she didn't make you the right type of sandwich, my dude. Just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you're making a video about Amber Heard and how much she's a bitch, and you're recording a video for YouTube, and then your wife says something in the background. You're like, yo, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm trying to record a video on Amber Heard. But no, I kind of got caught up in that a little bit because I recorded a couple solo podcasts about the trial where I was trying to stay level-headed, and there were a couple points where I was like, I'm getting too emotional. Like I am, like Johnny Depp's on my team because I'm also a guy. Like this isn't what this is. This is two people in a toxic whirlwind of a relationship, and Amber Heard, the evidence shows that, you know, she crossed the line and got physical, and she defamed Johnny Depp, or they both, I believe the verdict was two-way, where Johnny Depp's lawyer was found guilty of a $2 million count of defamation, and then Amber Heard was found guilty of that $10 plus million count of defamation. But like, there's so much shit coming from both sides, and as I'm watching the trial, I kept like, I had to consciously tell myself, like, be like, no matter how unlikable Amber Heard seems, and all her like the forensic experts and even her own lawyers, like, to me, they're just unlikable. Like that was
they were they were
objectively unlikable, where I had to remind myself, am I giving this person too much shit in a solo podcast because they're unlikable, or am I responding to what I'm actually seeing, or is it a combination of both? And then, you know, when I heard your take about Amber Heard and how she also deserves the space to heal, and she also, you know, did fucked up shit.
He's human.
Best case scenario, best case scenario, she goes away for a long time, not like to prison, but just like gets out of the spotlight. She gets a place where she's away from social interactions. She has a better group of people around her, because the people up to that point certainly weren't doing their part, it seems like, to make her aware of whatever illnesses or disorders or actions she was succumbing to. And best case scenario, you know, maybe 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, she gets to a place where she recognizes what went wrong, exactly why it went wrong, and she can move forward from that. As a human being, everyone deserves that place to be able to do that. Especially when you're talking about things like a defamation trial between millionaires where like no one was murdered. Like there's no, like, it's a serious charge what they were both dealing with, but we're not dealing with someone's life that was lost. Someone's life was deeply affected, but it's not, they're both walking away from the trial as millionaires, which is how it started. And so if she can get a space where she's able to see what happened, what went on, and same thing with Johnny Depp, like he's just not going to walk away from this and be like, I won, like processed mentally, you know, I'm back to even. Like it's going to take him a lot of time too. So I am in support of a way and in support of a world where each side gets their own place and just whatever space it is to be able to heal and to be able to realize their wrongs. Sometimes those people go to prison depending on what the crime is, and that has to be the space. But in this case, you know, that's not the case. But still, everyone deserves some sort of place to be able to do that.
Yeah. And I think that I hope she goes away and works on herself and gets therapy. And I believe I made that video before she went up to testify, because I was like, I was acting as if I was talking to her. I'm like, you have a choice. Just say you lied.
Yes.
Just say you lied. Just say he didn't really do it. You don't go on this, under oath and lie about, just turn around. But then I made that reference to Macbeth, and sometimes some people feel like they're in too deep, that the only way to get out is to go deeper in it. And I'm like, she does. It's either go deeper in it or take accountability right now. And she obviously chose the former. And that was so hard. That was cringe.
Yeah. Just say you lied. Find a place to heal and start an OnlyFans to pay off your court fees. That's like the trifecta for her that she needs to.
And she'd make a lot of money. Low key.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. I mean, that is the most in demand OnlyFans at the moment, and I'm definitely not the first person to say that. But
you're not. There's people would but she also just this last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
When Dr. Curry, which I love her, when she talked about Amber and how.
By the way, I was talking about Johnny Depp starting OnlyFans, not Amber Heard.
I'm watching that. But Dr. Curry, when she talked about diagnosing Amber with borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder, I think that's really when my sympathy for Amber kicked in, where I'm like, wow, if she's really dealing with mental illness, maybe this really is what she thinks her reality is. And is this on our side as culture when we laud mental health awareness? And if she really is dealing with mental health issues, is it hypocrisy in our end that we are constantly badgering at someone that's dealing with a mental illness? Shouldn't we actually doing the opposite? And even if you're not saying, come on, Amber, get help, maybe just not saying anything at all. So I started thinking about that and how that whole thing could be, that was conflicting. But yeah,
absolutely.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with her. Yeah. And, best wishes. She's a mother. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it wouldn't be an excuse for what she did.
No, I love Johnny.
If she did.
I'm glad Johnny.
Yeah. If she is mentally unwell, if her brain was wired in a way that wasn't able to process things the way that she's supposed to, and that led to part of or most of what she did, then you start to look at all the trial and the backlash in a different way. If that it was the case, if she was suffering from a disorder, mental illness, I guess that's not going to come out now.